What's teeny and tiny and fits inside of this travel scuttle right here? Everything that I need for today's shave. I wanted to do another teeny tiny shave for today, and what I really wanted to feature was this new brush that I picked up. This is an Omega, and this is a mixed Badger and Boar. I think the Badger may be synthetic. I'm not 100% sure, but you can see it's very small. Now I did a teeny tiny video a while back. If you remember, I used a small travel razor, my Gillette razor there, but I wanted to feature this little brush. Look at the comparison of these two brushes. Again, this is my Yaki 30mm synthetic barber pole, and this is this tiny little Omega. I believe it's a 22mm knot, but the loft is not much different, but you can just see how much bigger the rest of the brushes compared to the two. I've used it a couple of times. It's actually an incredible brush. I like it a lot. But let me show you what else I'll be using. Of course, here is that Gillette Travel Tech. Mine's from the 1960s. I got it on eBay for like 15 bucks. You already saw the travel scuttle. Again, that's from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. And then also I've got this soap sample that came with the travel scuttle. It says Planet Phoenix. I guess that's the name of the soap. I kind of looked online and couldn't really find that. It's a kind of an odd scent to me. It smells kind of actually similar to Pages from Hub City Soap Company. It's kind of got a leathery smell. I've used it once. It does have a little bit different smell once you actually kind of get it going. A little bit of spice. It's good. I like it, but it's a little bit different. I don't know if I would get a whole, the sample's good enough for me, but yeah, that's pretty cool. It came with that. And then also they sent a little bit of the aftershave, and it's Hotel Cecil, or Cecil, if I'm saying it correctly. It's kind of the newest scent that has come out from PAA. So they sent a little aftershave sample there. So basically I have everything that I need in this little scuttle. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to soak my brush, and I'm going to put the soap in the scuttle, and then I'll actually, the next time I come on camera, you'll see me doing the lather in the scuttle, which I'm pretty much going to do every time. I like to see it personally. I like to see how a brush performs in the scuttle. So stay tuned for that. Okay, and I forgot to mention the blade that I'll be using for today is a Wilkinson sword. Hopefully you can see it well enough there. Yeah, there you go. I've used this a couple of times. I actually got these at like the local grocery store. Pretty reasonable price. I think they were like $5 or so for five. Well, no, it was like $3 for 5 of them, but obviously you're gonna pay premium when you're buying stuff at like grocery stores and stuff. I just thought I'd pick them up because it was interesting to see double-edged blades at a grocery store. So you can see I've got the soap loaded down in there. Here's my brush. It has been soaking. I love this little brush. It performs like a champ. It's funny because actually what I really like about it is it's kind of got the softness of a Badger, but it's got the like stiffness of a Boar. Hence the mixed. I mean, well, that's pretty obvious, I guess, that it's going to have a little bit of both. Hopefully I didn't get too much water in there. No, I think it'll be good. I'll just have to work it a little bit. So this is my first experience with PAA soap. I know tons of people just, talk about how great PAA soap is, and I agree. This stuff is awesome. It's non-tallow based, which is good if you don't want to use animal products. I believe this is the CK6 formula. I think it said that in the description. So I've never used the other formula, so I don't know what to compare it to, but you can see this is generating a beautiful, beautiful lather here with this tiny little brush. I bought it honestly just as a novelty because it was funny and it was little. Same thing with this little razor that I'm going to use. I just thought it was funny because it's so little and small. But I really like it. What I want to find is a full-sized brush that is a mix of Badger and Boar. Because to me, it's perfect. It's soft, yet stiff. That's what I'm looking for in a brush. I mean, it kind of gets all over your fingers. obviously, because it's just such a small handle, but it's nice. Okay, I think that's good enough. That was quick. Let's get this sucker on the face. Despite being a bit of a pipsqueak, it does still whip up a great lather. Let me wet the face a little bit here. I had a little bit of the soap on my finger from loading it in the bowl, and you can see it starting to kind of gather on my face there. That'll add a little element of slickness, almost like a pre-shave. Okay. Yeah, it's a completely different scent when you actually put this soap to the face. Very pleasant. Kind of maybe a little bit of musk, a little bit of spice. Look at that brush. Like I said, it's not as soft as a Badger, which I'm not huge. I've only used one Badger. You've seen my Badger. It's a West Coast shaving. It's nothing fancy. It's not a super silver tip or anything like that. But it does a pretty decent job, as does this. And it's just so little. Perfect. I love it. I love this brush. If it was a little bit bigger, I would use it almost like every day. But it's good. It's good little. It's a fun novelty thing. Now, I did say in my last video that I was going to use this Carnivorous by Sterling soap. I will eventually. I'll get around to it. I'm going to stop like promising to use certain products, because you never know. I can pull an audible and do something completely different. Here's this tiny little razor. It's so little. Now this blade, this Wilkinson sword blade, is extremely mild. I've used it once before with my West Coast shaving open comb fat handle. And it was so mild it didn't even it wasn't an issue. And this is a mild razor. This is one of the Gillette Tech. Even though it's small like this, it basically just has a Tech head. And so naturally it's very mild. Now I've got a little bit of a nick here on my neck, more than a nick, it's a cut from a shavette. I'm not using a shavette, and I really thank everybody that was willing to watch me use that shavette last time. It took me a long time, and because I'm a novice. But anyone that stuck around to watch that, thank you. Now something I'm going to do here, I'm going to start doing, I'm switching to my left hand on my left side. This is my first time to do this, and I've heard this will kind of help to build some dexterity for shaving with a shavette or a straight using a left hand on the left side, which is something that I struggle with. But if you practice something enough, you'll get decent at it. And this is a good razor to do something like this, because the small size already has you kind of concentrate. And I can tell I'm not getting the closest shave with it. I'm going to switch real quick. But you get the idea. Because I just can't get the pressure that I can with my right. I just bumped my mic. Hopefully that's not an issue. I switched to, or just to change things up, I'm using a lav mic. I just want to see how that sounds in comparison to the shotgun mic that I normally use. I used this lav mic right here. I used it for my outdoor shave a while back because I was pretty far from my camera. But it actually should give a little bit better audio quality. We'll see. I know that I literally just said that I'm not going to like announce what I'm using for next videos. But my next video is my 13th shave video. This is number 12. Next one is number 13. And I've got something pretty excited planned for that one. I won't mention any specifics so I don't paint myself in a corner. But I do have something kind of fun planned for that. So stick around for that one. Such a great brush. 20 bucks on eBay. It's little. As you can see, it's very small, but it performs amazing. So, what is this? This is October 24th. I just read that Jerry Jeff Walker, the country and western, the kind of Texas folk singer, has passed away. I know I shot a Halloween video, but you've heard me say before, I shoot my videos I take weeks sometimes to edit them. But I just read that Jerry Jeff Walker died. He's most famous for Mr. Bojangles, if you've never heard that song. If you have heard that song, rather. He also did a very famous version of the London Homesick Blues. He had a really good song called Redneck Mother, Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother. I saw him perform once at a place called Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, Texas. If you've ever seen the movie Urban Cowboy, Billy Bob's is very much like, that place was called Gilley's, and that was a real place. I think it's since closed. I think it was in Houston, and I think Gilley's is closed. It was owned by a dude named Mickey Gilley. Mickey Gilley may have passed away, I'm not sure. He appears in the movie, as does John Travolta, and a guy named Barry Corbin, who my grandfather was actually friends with. Different story. But Urban Cowboy. I want to do the left hand, but I'll do that with my off-camera shaves. So, Billy Bob's, Texas. It was this huge, it's a honky-tonk, or a country and western bar. It's still there. I was there actually a little over a year ago. It's huge. They've got an indoor rodeo inside a bar. I've got a great picture. I'll post it now. That's me and my wife riding a bull, right? No, it's a it's dead. It's a stuffed bull, and you pose with it, and they take your picture. So that's my wife. I still think that's the greatest photo of the two of us. All right, let me get back to Jerry Jeff Walker. My wife was not with me when I saw Jerry Jeff Walker back in college with a good friend of mine. We drove out to Fort Worth, Texas, and saw him play at Billy Bob's. I'm gonna miss that guy. I liked a lot of his songs. I listened to a lot of his songs while driving around late at night out in West Texas. I don't believe it was Corona related. I'm a big fan of John Prine, who died earlier this year from Corona. It really is just a shame. Whether it's Corona related or not, it's a shame to see all of these great musicians and just good people passing away. Let me get to shedding. So I noticed there is one little hair shedding there. This brush isn't bad. It really doesn't shed much. It's a little bit more than just a regular Boar, but not as much as some Badgers. And that might be one of my, that might have been a head hair. Shedding is not bad. Yeah, I used this Omega Boar in my last video, and it sheds a little, but not bad. I just wanted to hit these two spots quickly. And this little tiny razor is good for that. It's very nimble. Here we go. Teeny tiny shave number 2. Teeny tiny. My daughter does that. Anytime something's really small, she goes teeny tiny. It's cute. Okay, let's get cleaned up here. Use this aftershave sample. With that soap, one more time I'll mention what it smells like. I even get a little, well, I definitely hit the mic there. I even get a little bit of like cinnamon, like I said, spice. I get a spice scent from it, so a little bit of cinnamon maybe. Let's try this sample. Again, this is Hotel Cecil or Cecil. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. It's got a little vial of it here. And I'll splash a little in my hand. Just enough for a couple of applications. I don't want to spill it. Don't fall. Oh, that's good. It's very spicy. My dad, I've mentioned this before, used to wear a British Sterling. It kind of smells like a less intense version of that. There's enough for like one more splash here, and then probably enough. I used a little more than half. There's enough for pretty much one more application. Very like, I like it. It's got a little bit of slickness to it that kind of hydrate the face. This is my first time using PAA Aftershave, which I've heard great things about. Yeah, it really feels like it like nourishes the skin. Good stuff. Let me put a cap on it because like I said, I think I can get one more use out of that. Yeah. Here's the little label. Hotel Cecil is a hauntingly familiar because it's coming out around Halloween. Yet paranormal, metallic, tonka bean, spicy, soft, woodsy note. It's an homage to the original Burma shave. Can you see that there? It's got like a guy falling out of a hotel. That's always fun. Okay, so teeny tiny shave in the books. Thank you guys so much for watching my 12th video. 13th video is gonna be epic. I'll tell you that. All right, see you folks.